Good afternoon, class. Today we're going to be learning about Brazil and the samba. So, can someone come up here and volunteer to point out where Brazil is on the map? Josh. It's right here. Good job. Brazil is, as you can see, in South America, and it is the largest country within South America. In the 1700s, slaves were brought to Brazil, and they were mainly brought to Bahia, where they had the largest slave population. And Bahia is where samba was born and created. And these African slaves, they brought their culture over to Brazil, and their music, basically very rhythmic music, was the basis of what we know as today's samba. And when they were working on the plantations, and they would sing songs and dances of their culture. And the main one was called the Samba, and this was based off of the African Angolan style. And it transformed into what we know as today as Samba de Roda, which isn't actually a form of samba, but it's the roots of what samba has become. And since it originated in Bahia, in 1888, when slavery was abolished in Brazil, many of the slaves moved to Rio de Janeiro, which is the cultural capital of Brazil. And in Rio, this is where samba was really, really created. And it was created because their music, that Afro-Brazilian culture, brought their music, and it mixed with European, Spanish, and Cuban music. And all of a sudden, we had the samba. And the most celebrated form of samba is samba batucada. And this was created as it's a more percussive and heavily rhythmic style of samba. And this is what we're going to be talking today, samba de roda, or samba batucada. And it is mainly based in the celebration we know today as Carnival. And this is celebrated annually in Brazil. This celebration is of a religious holiday, and the basis of Carnival is samba. Samba music, samba everything, samba schools, samba dancing. And so samba's rhythm is really the most unique part, which makes it samba. And its rhythms are usually in a 2/4 meter, and it's usually in a 2-bar pattern or more, depending on the style. And today we're going to be talking about polyrhythms within the samba batucada. So, does anybody know what the prefix poly means? Zach? Yeah, it means many. And can anybody guess what polyrhythms means? Victoria? Yeah. Polyrhythm is simultaneously the occurrences of many sharply contrasting rhythms at the same time. So what we're going to do today is simulate a bateria section. Can everybody say bateria after me?
Bateria.
Good. Samba, the batucada section is called the bateria, and this is the percussion section within the batucada style. I'm going to go over the instruments before we get to them so that we have a basis of what they are. And the main instrument of, the basis instrument of samba batucada is the surdo drum. Can everybody say surdo after me? Surdo. Good. Yeah, it's kind of a roll of the R. And they're the lowest pitches within the bateria section. And the largest drum usually plays just a steady boom, boom, boom beat. And then the second largest, a little higher pitch, plays the same thing, but a muffled beat on a different part. And then the highest drum usually plays an embellishment of the beat. And it's usually played, these aren't actually surdo drums. We're going to simulate them as surdo drums, and it's played with a mallet in the hand, as well as that. Then we have the caixa. Can everybody say caixa after me?
Caixa.
Caixa is a snare drum that we would see here in marching band at school, and it's just played with drumsticks like usual. And we don't have a snare drum, but we're going to use the drumsticks. Then we have the ganza, and this is what the ganza looks like, and you shake it back and forth. my favorite instrument is the guica, and it sounds like a monkey, and actually we can listen to it real quick. And that's why it's my favorite instrument, because it sounds like a monkey. Now, it's played, as you can see, he was kind of rubbing inside of there. It's played by rubbing this rod with a moist cloth, and he puts tension on the head of the drum, and it creates a higher pitch, and when he lets tension off, the drum creates a lower pitch. And since we don't actually have that, we're going to imitate that with our voices today. Then we have the tambourine. Can everybody say tambourine after me?
Tambourine.
Good. The tambourine is a small hand drum. We don't have a small hand drum, because Isaac took it, but it's played by, when they do it, they go upwards, and they flip it upside down to create a different pitch or change the timbre of the tambourine. And it creates more of an embellishment of the melody that we hear. And then we have the agogo bells, which we don't actually have agogo bells, but this is going to be our imitation of the agogo bells. And they're the oldest instrument of samba instruments. And normally, you would have, like this, something attached, two cowbells attached to each other, and they have two different pitches. And they play it with a drumstick in one hand and holding it in the other. And then we have the reko-reko. Everybody say reko-reko?
Reko-reko.
This consists of a ridged gourd, usually made out of wood or bamboo. It depends. This is probably made out of wood. And it's just scraped with a wood stick or a metal stick, depending on what kind of reko-reko it is. All right, we're gonna simulate the bateria section now. And I have a couple rules before we get there. When you get to the instrument, I'm gonna assign you all to an instrument. And I don't want you to touch the drum or the striking utensil yet, because this will be our resting position. So I'm going to assign you all a rhythm, and I want you all to imitate my rhythm after I play it and how I play it. So, and while I'm working with each student, it will be not too long for each of you, I want you to imitate the beat on your legs that I'm doing with each of you. So, Bridget, I want you to come over here. Zach, you can play this one. This is the Super Drum 2. Josh, you're on the tambourine. Harry, you are on the Aisha. You can actually play it on your desk. Yeah. You guys are going to want to stand or sit down, and you elevate it, the drums with your feet like this. You are going to be imitating the guica. So you're going to be like, you will be playing the agogo bells.
Did Isaac have the bells too?
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Okay.
You will be playing the gansa. And Victoria, on the agogo bells, you're going to be playing the two highest pitches.
Okay.
And you will be playing the reko-reko. You're going to need the. How about we all stand up, unless you're playing the pseudo drum, or you can, yeah. Okay. So we have the rhythms up here. I know you may not be able to read the rhythms, but that's okay. It's just the basis of visually seeing it. So let's all. This is the pseudo drum 1 part. So it's played by. It's a muffle beat on beat 1. Now on beat 2. You got that?
Yep.
Go ahead and play it. Now keep playing it. Now your beat will be, sorry. Your beat will be nail on beat 1, hand on beat 2. So here you go. Got it? gonna be playing this line right here. Okay. Harry, your part's pretty difficult too. So if you can't do this, you can just accent the first beat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good job. Okay, you're just going. Right here. So you're gonna be going. Go ahead and sing it out. This is like the sound of the section that you really want to bring out. Go ahead. Now, Victoria, you're going to be going like this. Even though the top line there. Oh, sorry, I'm inverted right now. Got it? Go ahead and play it. It's high. You see how the higher is higher? No. Now get louder. Wow, you guys are actually really good at that. I don't know how well it's going to work out, but it's really good. Okay, you can all sit down now. Just place
You could just put this. Yeah, put them back on the desk.
Okay. Now that we've played the instruments, we're going to listen to it. So, this is a group called Samba Squad, and this is going to be really cool. And this is the bateria section. So it starts out with call and response. Listen to what you were playing. Can you hear your instrument? No, the tweaker just came. Okay, now samba, as you can hear, your rhythms aren't the same as that. And all sambas have different polyrhythms, and that's what makes each song unique. So that's all I have for you today.